Alright, so if you happen to be watching this live stream and you're wondering what's going on, there's not a lot happening at the moment because... Oh, there goes something. Where's that at? Oh, they're already dead. Okay, so, basically, this is 7 Days to Die. And basically, I've just built this, I took a point of interest, a house, and I reinforced it, and I put all this stuff around it. That's night scope. I was looking in night vision goggles. But like I've totally reinforced the house. I put up lights. I've got gun turrets. I've got the spikes. I've got all kinds of crazy stuff going on here. We've got some barbed wire in spots, and so anyway, I turned up the zombie spawning a little bit just to see, how much more stuff we'd get to come through, and so far, we're not getting a whole lot of stuff. I thought there'd be a lot more going on. I thought we'd have more random hordes going on. But usually what happens is, seems like the lights attract them, and before they get really all that close, the gun turrets take them out. There's not a whole lot for me to do. Sometimes if there's a massive horde like coming over the hill here or over here or over this way, then I've got something to shoot at. But for the most part, if it's just one or two things by themselves, it just the turrets do all the work. So I don't really have to do a whole lot. And so, so here I've got a miner's helmet that can shed a little bit of light, but obviously not a lot. I can turn that off. And this is just... Where are they coming from? Oh. I have no idea what they were shooting at. I couldn't tell what guns were shooting. Usually you can see like a flash, from which guns, but I tell you, the night vision goggles, yeah, you can see, but because of the colors, it's hard to tell what you're actually looking at. And usually the zombies just appear as dark black, so you can kind of tell that it's a thing walking as opposed to just looking at a bush or a tree. Also, this video right now is just a test of the live streaming capabilities. Using this newer laptop and the setup that I put together, I just want to see how good it actually streams, how choppy it is, what the frame rate's like. Because playing the game itself is hard enough, and then when you stream it, it's encoding and uploading and whatever, so that takes up some of your juice. So I'm just trying to get an idea, does this even look good enough that it's something that I can really keep doing. So I do have the chat window open. If someone wants to talk about anything, it's there. Oh, turn off the volume. Turn off the volume. So there's something. Okay, see right there, you can see there's something walking, but it's so dark you can't really... Fire a couple shots at it, it'll start walking this way. And now it's turning around walking the other way. If I can line it up and get a hit in, it'll... There we go. I got a little bit of blood there. So you can see there's something. It should turn around and come this way to try to figure out what's going on. Oh, he's way up here. Here he comes. And he's gone. And that was that. Man, I thought a lot more would spawn in, because I was hoping, one, with playing the game, using the power, streaming the game, using some power, and then I was thinking maybe if there were lots of dudes spawning in, then I'd have a better idea of what it's like to kind of push the system. But so far, we're just not getting a whole lot of Zeds. I thought that was a thing for a minute, but that's a tree. It's not a zombie. Alright. But we're just not getting a lot. So I don't know if it just happens to be one of those times in the game where they've just decided not to spawn a whole lot, or what the deal is. And I'm also trying to keep an eye on the stream here, you know, just see how choppy it is or smooth it is. I don't know. What do you guys think? If you're watching this, you got some idea of how it's looking, good or bad, smooth or not smooth, you know, let me know. I mean, I guess the real test would be in the daylight when you can actually see things, and the frame rates will make a difference. But I guess I can show you my house, right? Since this is turning into a big ball of nothing. So in here, we've got our catwalks. Go out to different parts of the roof, either out here on the front and back, where I can look around, or out on the sides. And over here's the... If you've played a lot of 7 Days to Die, you'll probably recognize the model of this house right away. And usually it's all wood and kind of beat up. And I put bulletproof glass in some of this stuff. All these walls are like it's steel, and then it's coated with the stuff that's supposed to be anti-explosive. Got a forge running, got my fires running. You can probably hear the electricity too, the electricity humming. I've set up solar panels that go to battery banks that then go out to the lights and the guns. So everything is, you know, during the day the solar panels recharge the batteries, and then at night they run on batteries. So, you know, everything's pretty well taken care of as far as holding all that stuff together. I can show you some of the turrets out here, I guess. You can see the turrets, you can see the solar panels running the lights. It's just hard. I can't get the lights to, you know, angle up or down. I can get them to turn, you know, every direction. And then go like 12 directions, 12 different ways of setting them, but I can't get them to go up or down. Apparently there's some sort of like advanced rotate menu. You can get in through some sort of keyboard command, but I haven't been able to get it to work, so I don't know if it's changed recently or there's some sort of setting you have to get to that. Oh, there's stuff. Oh, it looks like there's a whole bunch of them coming now. Pretty good sized horde. Yeah, so you can see I did stack up some lights there to try to get more light on these hills. And oh, something just died there. But you know, as I said, the spikes and the guns really seem to do most of the work. I don't usually have to do a whole lot, which is like, on the one hand it's kind of nice to not have to worry about it, but on the other hand it does get a little tedious after a while. Oh, and the gun just got it. There's something else? Nope, that's it. So yeah, every couple of days I go out and I kind of fix up the spikes and You know, every day I try to go out and cut up the bodies because they do pile up. But then I do have this hatch. You know, one of the things that's really good to do in this game is to have a, you know, place to escape to. So go down the hatch here. I do have an area down here. I haven't done a whole lot with it. I've dug it out, but I have hay bales down at the bottom, so I should be able to drop, except I forgot you can't have the ladder going all the way down. So actually the bottom rung of the ladder I need to destroy so that I can drop down the way you're supposed to. Ooh. Nope. Go back down. There we go. So yeah, need to knock that out at some point. Of course, those steel ladders are tough to do. The nice thing about these barrels, if you're wondering, you know, if you've been playing this game, you've been wondering, these barrels, the fire doesn't actually hurt you, and it doesn't actually put out heat. It's just there as a light source. The torches will put out heat, and torches will attract the zombies, but the barrels do not, at least in Alpha 16.4. So when Alpha 17 comes, that may change. But then, of course, nobody knows when Alpha 17 is actually going to come. So, yeah, I've dug out these areas. Kind of went off to the side in a couple spots. But you can see I went pretty deep. I got kind of carried away. Like over here, put in like a little room, but I haven't done anything with this stuff yet. And then down here, even further. And my original idea is at some point, when I can't decide if I want to go all the way through the mountains, because I can. You know, it's just kind of one of those things. Why not, if you can do it? But I was trying to get underneath one of these tall parts and then tunnel straight down, making a drop for the zombies. So, you know, have a bunch of spikes and whatever at the bottom so they would drop. And to be a long enough drop, it would do some real damage to them. And then some spikes at the bottom just in case. But that was kind of the plan with that. I just haven't gotten through to all that yet. And you may be wondering, some of you may be looking at this going, day 18, and he's dug that far, and he's got that powerful auger and sniper rifle and all those turrets. Like, how did he get all of this? I cheated. Straight up cheated. I allowed cheat mode, pressed U to bring up the menu, and straight up cheated. So don't feel bad at all, because I've played over 100 hours, and between console, Xbox One, and PC, it's several hundred hours. So just decided to play things off after a while and just to be different, try something different, new. And so this is the first time actually I've done the cheat menu, but it is so nice. It kind of puts me in this position now where like I may, you know, when Alpha 17 comes, I'll go back to playing, you know, regular, but turning on that cheat and just throwing a bunch of stuff up there and not having to go through all those beginning day things again, that's really nice. So, yeah, so anyway, here's this. One thing I've always wondered on this game is how do you run up ladders? Because that's the thing. See, I'm running. See, here I'm climbing normal. Here I'm running. Somehow running up a ladder is a thing. I don't get it, but whatever. And here we come back out. So, that's my nifty house for now on 7 Days to Die. And, you know, this game, the graphics engine does get really nice sometimes. Some of this is, you know, really pretty. For a game about the end of the world and zombies, it does get very pretty sometimes. I think right now I have all the graphic settings on high, so I wanted to see if this was smooth enough to watch for a play, you know, to see how it would actually look and stream. And I don't know, looking at it over here, it looks like it's pretty good, so this may be usable. So, I don't know. I can't decide if I want to keep playing one like this or if I want to start a new one and just, you know, actually follow the rules like I'm supposed to, or if, I don't know. Try some different games too. This game is, it's so poorly optimized that it's a good game to use to test some of this stuff out, because it does play very poorly. And so I figured this was a good one for a test, but, you know, I mean, I don't know. Someone said I should try the game Scum, that just came out on Steam. It's another survival type game that might be worth checking out. Might try The Forest. I've heard a lot of good stuff about that. So I don't know. Try different things. Let me guys know. Let me know, guys and gals, if there's something in particular you'd want to see. One thing about this game, though, is that sometimes my own feet, my own footsteps, I hear the sound of me walking, and I think it's somebody else out in the woods. Kind of freaks me out a little bit. There's a house there. There's, I think, Dyersville, I think is that one. So, yeah. All right. So I probably played this long enough to get a good idea of what the footage is going to look like, what the test looks like. You guys can see how good or poorly it actually turns out. But, here we go. Move some of this stuff out of the way so it's easier to see. So yeah, all right, guys. That's probably going to do it for the stream. Like I said, again, this is another test, one of my ongoing tests. See how good this stuff actually plays out. And I gotta say, I think it's looking pretty good. Looking at the footage over here, you know, on my other computer, of course, I'm watching the stream of the stream I'm uploading, so I'm sure that's probably not good for the overall health of the stream. But, you know, you do what you got to do to get things done, right? So anyway, all right, yeah, and there's the outside of the house. So you can see lots of lights, lots of stuff set up out here. And I kind of like this area. I like having the snow over there and the forest over here. There's a good mix of, you know, running out and finding birds' nests. Lots of stones if you need that stuff, you know, kind of early on. Of course, the trees. Snowberries, not the best thing in the world, but they do their job. So yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, guys, that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.